You're on air.
I'm on air, okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Odoo Insider session. We started a little bit late. Today was really like a day where basic. Yeah, traffic was bad and it was insane.
Emanuele, you have a really nice hat. Can you
Thank
show
you.
it to the audience?
Look. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit not loose enough on my head because I have a large head, I guess. But yeah, well.
No, it's just it's a cheap hat, so
Okay.
it's small for a lot of people. Don't worry.
All
You have a
right.
Nice head.
Thank you. So, well, welcome to the to Insider. Today it's gonna be a tech session as usual when I'm here. Gonna remove my hat because it's a little bit too warm. Try to put it here. I hope you can see it. So today it's a tech session, and as usual when I'm here, and I prepared a little bit of something, but I already saw some questions that might be interesting for you and that I can answer. I will try to read it and then I try to answer. In Odoo version 17 and 18, the website field on the product template is a many-to-one, which means a product can be assigned only one website. We have 3 websites and want to publish certain products on 2 of them, but not on the 3rd. Is there any recommended standard way in Odoo to make a product visible on a multiple website selected, or is it duplicating the product template currently the only viable option? So, as far as I know, the only standard way is that one. But I saw recently a customization where it was done, and I'll try to maybe replicate it. Let me just put it here and let's try to see what would be the steps to do that. All right, I switched. I have both version 18 and 19 of Odoo Insider here. I try to zoom in a little bit, otherwise I cannot see and you cannot see. And let me move to the left. So where would I start to identify the what to change? There's a mixin, so that I know different models inherit. So mixins in general are a way to add some behaviors to a class by extending the behavior and just kind of to group the same logic, same code base shared by different classes in the same place. And we're gonna try to find it. If I'm not mistaken, there will be a inherit and then a product and then something website. Let's see if I'm able to find it. No. Mixing, portal mixing. No. Product combo, product. Is it the one? No. Post load mixing. No. Not this one. Sell order. Could that be the one? No, not this one. Let's try to change it. Maybe it's not mixing, is something else. Product. Repair. Not here. Okay, let's do the other way around, because I'm pretty sure that it will be in the website sale module. Where is the file? Website sale. Well, not website sale sock, website sale. Here it is. Models, product, website ID, because we need to go there. Okay, here it is. Website multi mixing. So you see that we have mixing defined as website multi-mixin that is inherited by the product template model. You see here, and I couldn't find it because usually the inherits are in the same line, but my regex was weak, and so I was not able to find that we were extending product template and also inheriting the website publish multi-mixin. So as we can see, we have the confirmation that as the person that asked the questions, we have only one field in the we have only one website in the products, and we can see it here because we are not extending any. Wait, let me remove this one. We are not extending the or changing the field website ID, so it's not there. We are using the standard one. That's what we get. The standard one that comes from the mixin that we extend. So what should we do? There's a small function that is called, that is, let me find it, website multimixin, can access from current website. And you see that the method is pretty easy. So this should return boolean, true or false. And what we could do is, I will just try to do it kind of quickly. Let's say that I'll just do it in here, in Odoo Insider, new folder, access a product multi websites, new file manifest. I'll try to do it quickly and I won't spend too much time on it. New file init.py. We saw it, I think, a lot of times, so I'm not digressing too much into the module structure, but I have another example where I might spend a little bit more time to talk about it. Product template.py. Okay, here we are. Let me copy paste an existing manifest because it's just faster that way. Let me call it access product website. I'm not even running it, just to show you the structure, otherwise it will take too much time for you to see something interesting today. Init from .import models, and then in the models from .import product template. So we have the base class. Let me again snooze. It's gonna be like 2 hours of talk, so let me do something long. From Odoo import models, and we also need the fields. Class product template. We are extending models.model. Inherit equal product template. I'm using, and that's, we should be able to see, the Odoo. I'm using the right now the Odoo language server, the one that we built, and that is pretty powerful. I also need to switch it to use my own configuration, otherwise it might not be as good as I want, or maybe my configuration is also bad, so we have to wait a little bit for the index to be done. But what do we want to do? We need to create a website IDs that will be a many to many with website. It's just website. Let me see. Website. Yes, it's just website. So many to many with website, and then we need to go in website sale. Again, I need to find the model. It's a website publish multimixin, website multimixin, and we extend this function. So how do we do it? So now we have a new field, which is website IDs. I would more or less keep the same structure. I would add some fail-safe mechanism. I would say can access equal super can access from current website ID equal website ID, and then we return can access And let's do that. Or can access. So we do something like that. Website ID in record website IDs. Website IDs. Let me understand. Get current website ID. Not in. Yeah, that should be. Actually, we should maybe change it. So we need to do something like if website ID. That should be an integer. Or wait, let me do it properly. We need to create a set that will contain only this one, but this will be I need to think about it. If website ID, so if the set of website ID, now website ID, it's an integer, so I need to something like that. Website ID, if website ID, else, but I will change the structure a little bit because I don't like the way that I'm doing it. So website set equal this one. So we either have a set with only the current website or all the list of websites that we have. And then what do? We simply say that the intersection between that variable and the new one that I'm gonna create, so possible websites, will be equal to false, and same here. So if the intersection is website ID website set intersection possible website, then can access will be, well, actually, if not, can access will be false. And this piece of code should theoretically make it work. We just need to display the new field and on the product so that you can select the websites, and you will be able to do the thing that you're not able to do in standard. So if the website is you have 3 websites and you want to show the product on 2 out of 3 websites, that's how the way to do it. Then the other question, I have a very important question. On my development branch, I've made a web page with image, video, custom shapes, and custom menus. Let's add some carousel to it too. How do I know which fields to export so I can import into another Odoo instance? That is usually a question that comes up because client users don't change the web pages directly in the live environment. To be checked. I know it was kind of difficult in the previous versions to migrate from development to staging and then to prod. I think you can still export the custom views from the backend and then import them, but it's not as simple. I think that the easier approach would be to kind of replicate the changes. It's not the best solution. Probably there's others that I don't know. But yeah, that's the way. And then there's a question that is a perfect ties in perfectly to what I wanted to show today. So there was how are the IR cron methods called by the Odoo server? Schedule actions are defined in IR cron, but how does Odoo actually know when to execute each cron job at the right time? Question is very interesting, and that was the topic of the day, that is crons and the differences in version 19 compared to what existed before. Let me give a brief overview of the crons, and then we can dig a little bit deeper into how they are run, and we're discovering basically that together, like what's in 19 and what not. So what is a cron? Very simple definition on the documentation are actions that are triggered automatically on a predefined frequency. Pretty simple. Let's see a definition of a cron. I need to zoom in. So crons are defined as the person that asked the questions was saying. So we have a cron, we have a record of the model IR cron. We can call it however we want. Let me also update the module so that we can see something interesting. This is version 19. We have a cron that is connected to a model. We have to specify the state. That this is something that we saw in server actions, so it's either a code or something else, but we mainly do code. And this is the function that will be called by the cron. Interval number together with interval type is the tuple that defines how frequently the cron will be run. So that means that the cron will be run every minute, 1 minute. I could put 1 hour, once an hour, once per day, so on and so forth. And let me go in the backend to show what's going on. I have a bunch of crons, but I want to deactivate them because I don't want them to be run. So let me archive, so they will not be run, cannot be modified right now. Okay, so the one of the crons is running, so I cannot block it. I'll try to do it archive. This one is archive, and then we will unarchive it later. Archive, and if we're lucky, no, this is running. Let me maybe, we have to just be lucky, or I need to stop and do it from the from PostgreSQL. That could be also a solution. Let me do it from there. Terminal. So let me go PSQL. Odoo PSQL, Odoo inside, Odoo insider. So select, maybe we might be faster now. It is still running. Start from IR cron. Just need to find the where name like where name like demo cron, and then we should find name does not exist. Is it because, yes, this is one of the things about IR cron, that they are always connected to a server action. And that's what we were talking about before, because the field type or state is not available here. It's in the server action itself. So to find the cron, I should do something like, and we don't even have the active field, so I can actually just directly find the, oh, maybe I do. Yes, we have it both. So I need to find the cron record and the server action record. Inner join IR actions server. Perfect. On, and what do we do? IR cron IR action server ID equal IR action server ID, action server ID. Okay, IR action server doesn't exist because the model is different, because I think it's just act server. Act server. In this case, the name of the model doesn't translate fully to the table created by Odoo. This is something that happens sometimes. Where name operator does not exist, so we need to find the English EN/US name, and we found quite a bit of data, but we care, and maybe we are lucky. Okay, actually this is faster. We are lucky the cron stopped. Otherwise we would have needed to just identify the ID of the cron ID, and then the IR act server ID to identify them. There's no need, so we can close this one. All right, schedule actions. We have a one-to-one match between the data defined in the XML and what you see here. So model, state, and so on and so forth. What we didn't specify is the priority, and priority that is useful to either if you have like 4 crons that needs to run at the same time, and actually we want one to be run before the others, I need to put a lower priority, in the sense a lower integer, so that it has higher priority, so that it runs in the same batch of crons, but it will run before the others. That's the usage of that field, but generally there's no need to do it. Executes every minute, it's active, next execution date, this is automatically computed. And what do we have here? Also we have the run manually, so that we can run the cron, and then the method that is run when the cron is called. Let's check it, and let's try to answer the question of how does Odoo trigger it. So now we just have to wait a little bit, around 1 minute, before my debugger is triggered, and the debug point will be triggered, and then we can check a little bit more. In the meantime, let's see if there's other questions. And there's one. Hello, I'm using Odoo 19 online, and there are a few changes which I need to the website e-commerce app for our company selling event carpets. One example is showing price per square meter on product overview page, where all products are shown, but as per role on products detail page. I have to think about this one, because you usually sell it per square meter. Can't you maybe change the unit of measure to use that one? Maybe I'm completely wrong, because we need to check. I think it's we could try to check it afterward, because now the cron is it has been triggered, so we can see and understand what triggered the execution. I would like to move this one a little bit up. Okay, and remove this one. Okay. So this depends on the type of deployment that you have set up. I just have a one thread, one worker locally, so there's a cron thread that runs. Wait, let me move it up. So let's try to read and try to understand what's going on. We have a cron thread that is not the same thread that the other requests run through. It's different, same process, different thread. On startup, all workers bind on a notification channel in Postgres so they can be woken up at will. At worst, they wake up at every sleep interval with a jitter. The jitter creates a chorus effect that helps distribute on the timeline the moment when individual workers wake up. On Notify, all workers are awakened at the same time. Sleeping just a bit prevents they all pull the database at the exact time. This is known as the thundering herd effect. So we have the cron thread. We can also check that there is a I think it's here. There's we use the notify function in a PostgreSQL to send a signal, and I think we can find it in PSQL notify. So we send a notification when something changes, and the notification is sent to clients that are listening to that specific channel. So specifically, we have the cron thread that is listening to the cron trigger. Same for the rest. Like the rest are different. Like this is the threaded server, but then you have like the workers that work differently because they are in different processes, but they all listen to the same trigger from that is triggered by the database. Sorry, I'm like repeating myself, but that's how it works. And you see, this is the function that is called that will trigger that will wake up the cron workers. We can check who is calling it. So we see that this is called sorry, might not be clear, but if I open this one, notify DB, we see that in this function we are triggering the cron trigger, and who's triggering this function? it's a lot of things to say. So by default, we don't when you create a new cron and if you specify the Odoo notify cron changes environment variable, which I don't think is set up by default, we add a post commit function. So it's a function that will be triggered after the current cursor of the transaction will commit, and will wake up and see if some crons needs to be started. This is simple, but we don't have the Odoo notify cron changes. Otherwise, we will need to once a job is processed, and Odoo notify cron changes variable is set up. This is done, and then what do we have? Process job. This is the same one that we had before. When we update the crons or trigger list, that is called when we call the underscore trigger or the underscore trigger list to put the cron programmatically in a queue to be executed, because this is something that is fairly recent. I think since version 16, Odoo has a concept of cron triggers that allows you to schedule a cron that would normally run once a day, once a month, to be executed right now. This is useful to have something like like a queue of processes to be executed at a later moment. For example, if you need to not block a user from the user interface when you click on a button, you could say, okay, you click on a button, I trigger this process in the background, and as soon as the worker is ready to run. It will run the job. It will perform my my computation or whatever I need to do in there. And I think that's also what we see here in the right. Actually, let's try to debug it a little bit more to see what triggers it. Well, one of the things is the notification sent by notify, and then we also have the cron that it has a while true loop. I think I'm very optimistic to find it. Yes, cron.py. Wasn't it like this? Maybe it was somewhere else. No, it was in a server. So we have the cron thread that is in a while true. So once the cron thread is active, it will simply just continuously loop and see, do I have something to run? Yes, no. Otherwise, I stop. So yeah, we have two ways. Either the notify function wakes up my workers, or the cron thread that runs continuously will simply say, okay, I have to run this one because I have to run these crons because the next call, so this field is in the past. If it's in the past, then I need to identify the cron and will run it. And then I will also update the next execution date. So we have two ways of that Odoo uses to change that. But also I want to let you see the triggers, the triggers, and we go again in the IR cron data and the things that I created. So let me stop it for a little. I will create also let me put active false and active. I think I need to actually do false. Maybe I need to do it eval equal false, just to be sure that this is valued as a boolean. And so this one should be okay. And what do I want to do? I want to create a new function, trigger cron manually. So how do I do it? And I will create a button in the model, because this is a simple model that is just like a model with a name and a state. So what do? We need to first identify the record, the cron record that we want to trigger. So it will be IR cron demo, and we'll do sudo. We have access to that, but in general we might not have access to that model. Trigger, and let me actually in this case that was a good suggestion. Cron. So we identify this record with self-mref, and then we call the trigger function on the IR cron record that we found thanks to self-mref. Let me also change it so that it will be run once a day, because I don't want it to be triggered too frequently. I just want to trigger it myself. And I need to display this in the form. So I think I can put here a header, button header, and the function is called trigger cron manually. Perfect. This is not exactly the same as running it from as clicking on the run manually. This is a different function that is triggered, because this one will be run in the same thread as the cron, as the web worker web thread. and we don't want that. We want to run it in the cron thread to really simulate the automatic triggering of the cron. So let me see. We have to look for my demo cron. We have plenty of records because this has been running for quite a bit. Voila. You see that now the method has been called, but it's not being called. So I want to show some differences of the stack. Call this one. What do I see? Well, first of all, you see here that we have different threads. We have the cron, the HTTP service that are run in different threads. Like they are all paused because I put a breakpoint. And what do I see? I see that we receive a HTTP request that is being dispatched. We receive the call button, call keywords, and in the end, with the dispatch, we reach my function trigger cron manually from the HTTP service, which is different from the cron. If I let it go, you see that now, where are we? This is different actually. This is different because it has been run by the service cron, and in our case the HTTP service is paused, and the one that is being paused because it's on a breakpoint is the service cron. Different thing, eh? It's different. Like we are really in two different threads, and we can move on. But why was that triggered? Let me block this one. So why was that being triggered? We can try to go back to the notify DB function. Def notify DB. I need to be maybe more precise, otherwise it will take a long time. So notify DB. If I click on trigger cron manually, and let me remove this one, we see that the function is being called. Why? Well, in this case, that's because the function notify DB was added in the post commit function that should be run, and we might ask ourselves, why was that added? Let's try to see where this is added, because maybe I was also wrong. And next call, let's try to identify all of them. Okay, demo job executed. Let's try run it again, and we see that we have the trigger list method. We call the trigger, but in the end the trigger list is the one that is called because it's, let's say, the batch version of trigger. And what do we see here? Trigger list is being called, and at the end, because we the minimum time of at least is, well, in the past, I don't think we have this variable in the environment, no, but as it's an OR, we add it to we add this function to the post commit functions. We can maybe talk about the post commit functions later. So in any case, notify DB is being added, and the cron thread is being added to the post commit things. Let me also remove lots of I have all the breakpoints that I don't want. Let me delete all of them and put this one back. And we see that when the cron thread runs, identifies this this function, this cron, and the way that it identifies it, there's a select get ready SQL conditions, get already jobs, return a list of all jobs that are ready to be executed. So that's the main concept. Like we have once the cron thread runs every in the loop, it tries to identify the crons that should be run. It finds based on these conditions. So what are the crons that I should run? The crons are either they have to be active. So if they are deactivated, they are not run. The next call, so this field should be in the past, or the cron should be in the IR cron trigger table, which is a table, and as I don't think it has been removed yet. So if I go there and check PSQL Odoo Insider, select from IR cron trigger, we should have something. Actually, it has already been deleted. In any case, in the IR cron trigger table, we have the records that are added by the underscore trigger function, and that are deleted once they are processed. And once these jobs are identified, sorted by failure count, priority, and ID. So before I said priority takes precedence, but also if a job didn't fail, it will be run before the rest. So all the jobs that don't fail will run first, then the one with the lowest priority. Given the same priority, we sort them by the ID of the record. If there's a failure, there was a failure in the past or in the last consecutive, in the last run there was a failure, so failure count is updated, so it goes to +1, +1, for 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it resets so that we keep them. We don't run crons that will fail for sure. And that's more or less, I think it was a little bit of a messy explanation, but that's how the crons are chosen. And then we can talk about the cron themselves, because maybe is there any question? Maybe no. Okay, good. We can discuss about what the cron itself can do. There was a very nice talk, because my explanation will not be as nice as the one of my colleagues, but I can try. You see that I'm logging democrom executed, and the job has been executed. Nothing interesting, but let's see something more spicy, like creating records with the cron. Let me change it from false to true, and in this case we keep the interval to be once a minute, and let's put a breakpoint there. So what can a cron do? Performs an action. And why do I have API model as a decorator on top of my cron? The reason why is more semantical than let's say technical, because the function, well, if you put the API model decorator, you're basically saying that this function is static. So self will be an empty record set if you want to think about it that way. Now we wait for a tiny bit. Should at some point be triggered, unless this stays. Okay, no, it should be there. Demo create. Still okay. It's been called in the end. So we see that self is empty. This is not called on a specific record. So this is not being called on record 1, record with ID 1. This is being called on an empty record set, because it's very important to write proper crons, is that the cron is, let's say, I think it's called idempotent. So if you call it multiple times, it will not have side effect. Like, for example, there was a very nice talk by Thibaut Francois during the Odoo experience, and I think there was something else in the past. It was about how to write resilient crons. And one of the points is that the cron should be idempotent. So you should write something that if run multiple times, it will not have side effects. So if I have a cron that creates invoices based on the subscriptions, and I run twice the cron in the span of half a second, I don't have 2 invoices created. And then we can see maybe how to perform that. But this is how you have to reason. So the cron is triggered. It's triggered not on a specific set of records. You need to identify the records, and you need to identify them in a way that if another cron runs almost immediately, I will not perform the same operation twice or 3 times. That's very important. And then what can I do? I can do whatever I want. In my case, I just want to create 100 records, and then just because we want to maybe be very precise, we can maybe send a notification to send one using bus, send one we need to identify the right channel and message. We need to exclude all the tests, because it's not something that I care about. I just want to display a small pop-up to the user. Perfect. This one is a good example to kind of see. So bus, self-identified user, partner ID, simple notification. Actually, we need to identify the proper user, because this will be sent to the current user, but the current user of the cron is not the user that I'm connected to. So I'm administrator, but if I check the login of the user system, because this is the Odoo bot that runs it, because the job is there's a parameter that you can specify that is like with which user the cron, this cron is run as this specific user. Might be useful to identify that maybe you have different crons maybe for different companies. Each cron is run as a user that has a specific access to that company, so that you don't have maybe side effects to other companies, or just because there's some use cases where this is needed. Most of the time, if you use the Odoo bot, it makes sense, because it's a cron, it's a job that is being automatically run by the system. So it makes sense that the user is system. Some other cases, you might need to do it differently, but in our case, we don't. So we need to send it, and let's do it in a very bad way. We just put the ID of the partner of the user in there, but I'm not sure that that's the ID of the REST partner connected to the user. So REST users browse to login. Maybe I shouldn't make typos. So that's right, that's the admin partner ID. It's the ID is free, so I should send free. And let's send a message. Let's put it in English without any translation, and let's see. Perfect. And again, save, refresh, and let's wait for the cron to run. Let's see, we have to wait a little bit. Any other question? No? Okay, good. Ask them now. Continue asking the question. Like I can stop all the time. Whenever you want, whenever you need, I can stop, because sometimes it might take a while for the cron to trigger, and I want it to be triggered normally. Or in the meantime that you're asking question, I'll do the same thing as I did before, to not be stopped too much. I need to find the name of the cron, which is IR cron demo create. Okay, actually I was too slow. All right, cron is called. It will create 100 partners, and after this is done, we were unlucky because another one has started, but I should have received a notification. If I didn't, it's because I made a mess using BusBus. Not too important. So what can I use crons for? Because I'm been talking a lot about that, but imagine that the creation of records takes a long time. And let me remove this one. Takes, let's say, not 4, but let's say 5 seconds before, 10 seconds after. It takes a really, really, really long time. Well, my user doesn't necessarily have to be blocked because I have a cron that takes hours to do. So what I can do is just, let's go back, I change the method, I refresh this one. So now when I click on trigger cron manually, and if I would still like to put the breakpoint there, so I click on it. Right now I should have 5 plus 10 seconds plus the time for the creation before I can actually do something, if I would do it normally. But you see that actually this is immediate. I click on it, I can continue clicking on it, and this will just trigger more and more and more processes in the background. So actually for me as a user, this is immediate. And then it will take a little bit of time because I have lots of each of the time that I click on the button takes like 15 seconds. And I think if I go now in the schedule action triggers, no, it's not there because it's the same action, so it's not even run like 20 times. But if I go there, trigger cron manually, yeah, here it is. Demo cron create a record jobs. It's in the list of jobs that will be executed soon. So I can already see how powerful it is, and if we want to be very explicit, we can see the comparison by just calling the same function but from the same thread. So demo create a record. So let me refresh. And if I click on it, you see that right now I'm blocked. This could be a good thing, bad thing. It depends on what you need to do. There's some processes that needs to be, well, processed one after the other, but not all the time. So I go back to the previous version. Voilà. So what can I do with crons? I can simulate a background process. So if I have to do a heavy computation, I have my either my cron that is triggered to run every hour, or I have a button that I can can create. The user can click on it, and if the user click on it, the I don't know, like the records that needs to be processed will be marked, and then the cron is scheduled to run on those records. And that's one of the points that I wanted to show you, because I'm just creating a bunch of records. You see, like we are at 6,500. Let me create more. So let me again go there, because I want it to be just slightly faster. I want to have more records for you to see. Trigger cron, trigger cron, trigger cron, trigger cron. Keep on triggering it. Yeah, I think we are almost enough. Yeah, 8,400. I think it's okay, and then I can stop, and we can check we can create actually a new function, because I would like to kind of mark some records because I want them to be processed. Mark record as to process self state new. Perfect. Okay, easy. I take this one, this method, I go there, we'll put it here, copy paste, mark record as to process. Perfect. All right, let me refresh. Marks record as to process. So we see we have the state. I could have just done it differently, but why do I want this one? Because this is one of the points of the talk that my colleague did. I need to kind of identify the records and to process them one by one in batch as I want, but I need to find a ways to not reprocess them, even if we are running the same cron multiple times in the span of a second. And how can we do that? Well, a state field is more than enough, but also there's it's not really a super new feature, but log there is something like log for log. I think it's in the base module. Log. It's not in there. Am I making a mistake? Odoo? Or is it in the... I think it's in the models.py. Here it is. So there, I think it's fairly recent that we have a lock on write. Let me find it, because I have it here. That is also a nice feature. Okay. Lock for update. Maybe it's in master. It's not in. Oh, damn it. Lock for update. Lock. LOCK for. Okay, voila. So there is a function that grab an exclusive write lock on some rows with the given IDs. Skip locked records and browse the records that could be locked. So why do I want to do that? Because if there's let's suppose that I'm looping. Cancel. let's suppose that I am looping through the records, and maybe what I try log for update. What does it return? Yeah. Logged record equal record, and self allow referencing limit existence self IDs. Okay, that should work. Basically, this will make sure that the row is locked, and if there is a cron at the same time that tries to perform a write operation, well, the process will be locked. It's a lock on write lock, so that we can kind of guarantee that we are the only one writing on it right now. And then I could potentially say, okay, if this is locked, skip or whatever. Then I can mark the I just changed the state. I simulate let me maybe simulate a slightly longer task, so 0.1 seconds. Record state equal process plus equal 1. Okay, that's it. So this is a very simple cron. Find the records. I just I find all of them. I get the length and the number of records that I found, and yeah, this is right. This should be 10. And then there's a new feature in version 19 that is commit progress. Before, what we probably were used to do was like example old cron. I would like to log copilot, but example old cron. The old style of doing, let's say, resilient cron was records equal self search condition, maybe with a limit equal limit. Then for record in records whatever, then I would do, let's say, condition equal state equal new. Then I would say if self search count condition is more than 0, what do? I would trigger the function, well, the cron that called me, kind of. So this is the old way. I would kind of keep track of the potential timeout myself. I would work on a small batch of records and just process them one by one in batch as I wanted. And at the end of the function, I would say, okay, actually, I might have something else to process. I look in the database to find how many records I still need to process. If I have some, I would trigger. And this will be kind of a self-triggering cron. So it's triggered once, and then it checks the condition, it triggers itself again, and then again, and then again, and then again, until all of the records are processed. This is not needed anymore. So this is the old way. What we do, what is the right way, is to use commit progress. So commit progress is fairly new. I think it was added in 19. And I think documentation on this part is pretty good. We can read it. So writing cron functions. When running a scheduled action, it's recommended that you try to batch the progress in order to avoid blocking a worker for a long period of time and possibly run into timeout exceptions. Therefore, you should split the processing so that each call makes progress on some of the work to be done. When writing such a function, you should focus on processing a single batch. A batch should process one or many records and should generate take no more than a few seconds. Work is committed by the framework after each batch. The framework will call the function as many times as necessary to process the remaining work. Do not reschedule yourself the job. This is important. This is the old way. I trigger the process multiple times myself. Right now, it's the framework that will trigger the function for me. We can think of it as a black box. I don't have to go crazy and identify if I still need to process. As long as I do what I'm being asked to do, and that is to call commit progress. So commit and log progress for the batch from a cron function. I'm good. I don't need to do it. So even if this cron will take longer than the expected time, the cron will not be considered as failed, as long as underscore commit progress was called at least once and we progressed a little bit. And in our case, we can see that we can say the number of records that we process in the current run of the job, and then the remaining remaining records that still need to be processed. As long as Odoo knows that these things were updated compared to the last time that the cron ran, it's okay. There will be maybe a timeout, not an issue. The cron will be restarted, and given that we wrote a idempotent or idempotent, I don't know the pronunciation, cron, it will continue from what was not run. So and it still need to be processed. So potentially I might have also added some new records to be processed to my list. We can also check maybe the and I didn't do it myself. We can check the way that commit progress is done, and we can also see. So commit and log process for the batch for a cron function. The number of item process is added to the current done count. If you don't specify a remaining count, the number of item process is subtracted from the existing remaining count. If called from outside the cron job, the progress function call will just commit. There is this model that I don't think we have an access to. Select from IR cron progress. I don't think we have it, or maybe we do. Let's see. Count. I have quite a bit of records in there. Let's see what we have in here. Done. Timeout counter. Array cron ID, just to see. Okay, maybe I want to actually, what do I want to I just want to see how many cron progress we have for each cron. Group by cron ID. So for some we have quite a bit. I think these are all the one that I might have triggered myself. So commit and log progress for the batch from a cron function. The number of times processed, this one I think we just read. If not progress, browse IR cron progress. We can try to see what happens when this point is reached, to understand more deeply what's going on. In the meantime, question, there is part 1, part 3. I think we don't have the part 2.
I asked for part.
Okay. So, a quick question. We run a food distribution business and deliver to 3 supermarket stores. Part 3, pallets based on weight, size, limits, and then generate a clear picking slip for the warehouse, showing how to package pallet. Would this need customization, or can it be done with Odoo modules? To the person that asked the question, maybe I would ask you to rephrase it and maybe put the full question in the same message, so that we can see easily, and also Arthur can find it easily in the list of questions. I don't think we have that many today, but still, if you can, that would be great. So what were we looking at? The commit progress. So we need to do what we were doing before. Let's say that we need to run trigger cron manually. Yeah, let's add a new step where we trigger the cron progress, and now we activate it because we don't want to keep it, but we do it every 2 hours, because this is a little bit slow. And then trigger cron manually. Okay. Who called me? So it was maybe quick, you didn't see, but there was the first, probably we didn't see, but that might be okay. The first job run. That was not a guarantee, because we kind of added to the cron schedule 2 jobs almost at the same time. So we might have had the first one to be run after the second one added in the list, depending on the priority and so on and so forth. But actually, as we call trigger and then trigger, it's called twice. So that's not not an issue, but the proper way would have been, I mean, if we would have done it with trigger and list, we might have had the case where job 2 would have been run before job 1, because this is still like it's a select that we saw before that decides the priority and the jobs and which job should be run right now. So yeah, we are kind of lucky, but it's also the way that in the order in which the data was defined. So let's try to understand where we are. So we identified some records to process, and we have how many? 3,901. In total, well, we initialize process and total process to 0, and then we kind of just simulate up slowish task with 0.1 seconds. That's not a long time, but it's not 0. We change the state of the record to processed. We update process where we add +1, same to total processed, and then we decided to commit every 10 records. So every 10 records we just commit a little bit of work that we did. Then we reset the process to 0, and then we sleep for 2 seconds. So commit progress is called. What do we have? First of all, do we have in the context, self-m context, let's see, what do we have here? So I didn't do anything special. There is an IR progress ID record added in there. Could be nice to understand who added this guy. So we can always self-get, probably this guy here. This guy here. Add progress when this is called. Yeah, add progress. So this is called only once. add progress. So when the if I'm not mistaken, when the cron is identified, a new IR cron progress record is created, or yes, it's just created, and then the ID, that ID is added to the context. Okay, so every time the cron runs, IR cron progress is updated, and then commit progress identifies the I don't know where I am. Okay, this is another cron that is running in parallel. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I think I stopped for way too much. Let's start from scratch. Okay, let's start from scratch. Mark record as to process and trigger cron manually. Okay, notify commit progress is called. It's the vacuum cleaner now. It's not what we wanted, but now here it is. I still vacuum cleaner, and finally we are in our function. There was other crons that were scheduled to run. They have a higher priority, so they will run before mine. Here it is. Mine is being called. It should identify progress, so we can go to the next step. Progress is there. It exists. It kind of tries to see process, is it higher than 0? Yes, because we process 10. Remaining must be positive. This is just to ensure that something is being done. So at some point, if I go there, it commits the changes. You can see it here. It commits the changes on the cron trigger, on the cron progress record and of whatever I did before. So my update on the model demo, PSQL Odoo Insider. We can also see it here. Select state count from demo cron model, group by state. So we have now 5,919 process, 4,582 to be processed. Let me remove the breakpoints. We don't care. So now every 2 seconds more or less, you see process went from 5,928 to 5,938. So every 2 seconds we commit 10 records, and then I can forget about my process being done. And you see also that might take a little while because I have lots and lots of records to be processed. Is there any other question? No. Then I would maybe take a small break,
Of course.
maybe a 5-minute break, and we continue in a little bit, and we will continue on the IR cron, and then we'll also check briefly the post commit function, because I don't know if lots of people use that. So thank you guys, and we'll see each other in 5 minutes. We're back. All right. This time we knew that we were live, so nice. Okay, so we, just for you to know, we might cut it a little bit shorter today. We just unless you start asking questions like crazy, but let's say the small topic of the day is almost over, because what I wanted to we saw the commit progress, and we saw in general the crons in version 19, and I would totally recommend having a look at here. And actually there's some points for the commit progress. Where is it? Try log for update. That's the point that I wanted to discuss. In some cases, you may want to share resources between multiple batches or manage the loop yourself to handle exceptions. In this case, you should inform the scheduler of the progress of your work by calling commit progress and checking the result. The progress function returns the number of seconds remaining for the call. If it's 0, you must return as soon as possible. The following is an example of how to commit after each record that is processed while keeping the connection open. So you may have other needs. We do some common stuff here, log the record, also checks existence, prefetch, because also it's important, because while the cron runs, and it might take a long time, there is no guarantee that the record we are looping over or the records we are looping over still exist, because this is this is the cron. There's another operation in the meantime. I might delete that record, and when you loop over the record actually doesn't exist. So it's very important to, at the bare minimum, check if the record exists. And this is even better, like we check if the records exist, we get the log, and also we filter to see if the record is still has the same values that we wanted, because for example the record might have been deleted, but also the record might have been changed. So the state when we loop might have been changed from ready to done. So this is very important. If your cron needs to be very strong and very resilient, you need to log the row, check if the ID exists, and that's what the try log for update, and check if the record still has the same values that we used when we started the cron, because it might have changed state, might still exist, might be different. So I should ask myself, should I still update that or not? And then here we have the exceptions. Here I'm still doing stuff that I don't want to. Let me block it. But yeah, that's it. Like the documentation of these of the crons is pretty good. in version 19 especially, the documentation is very precise, tells you exactly what you have to do, and just follow it when you need to do something in your in your custom code, and use it appropriately. Create you run the commit progress whenever you need. Think about the record existence and so on and so forth. And then also think about the crons as a good tool that you that Odoo as a system gives you to perform operations that are very slow and that take a long time, and when you don't want to block the users. But also don't, my suggestion, personal suggestion, would be to not overuse it, because if, for example, validating a record takes 20 seconds, okay, you can move this validation in a cron to be performed in the background. So mark the record as to be processed by the cron. My cron runs, loops over the records that have the state to be processed, and then does the validation, commits, and I'm good. So me as a user, I don't see anything going on. Like for me, it's the same. Like there's something in the background that is going on, and it works. But I don't need to worry too much about it. But as I was saying, if it takes 20 seconds for the for a record validation to be done, maybe the issue lies in the 20 seconds. So yes, I can create a cron that does that. This is a patch. This is a patch to let the user continue working. But I should first focus on why does it take 20 seconds. I should profile. I should try to identify what's going on. Profiling. I love profiling. It really helps you understand like 90% of the issues in your code, because you can identify if a single operation takes a long time. And to profile, we showed it I think multiple times. We showed it multiple times, and but I can show briefly what you can do. But yeah, first profile. If so, there, enable profiling for 1 day, enable profiling again. Now we can also record memory, which is even that's honestly great, because it's something that I wanted to do. And then here I can trigger mark record as to process, and just disable the profiling a little for a while. And then I can check. This is actually new. I want to see everything. You can see exactly what's taking long, why is it slow. Then I think I also there's somehow a way to get the memory. Honestly, this is kind of new to me, because I was not. Okay, memory limit. Okay, memory profile. This one, well, there was nothing to be profiled, because it was kind of nothing happened, so it didn't do much. But absolutely, memory limit in bytes. Let's put 1 and see what we can find. Yeah, nothing. It was too quick and too fast. Here it is. Like, this is the only points. I don't have much to profile here, to be honest. But yeah, that's the way to do it. First profile, and then understand, fix that, and then eventually put things in a cron to run in the background. Yeah, that's about it for the crons. I also recommend looking for the. I will find the video and put it here, because my colleague Thibaut Francois did a very nice video during the last Odoo experience. I'm looking it up and I will put it here, and please have a look at that. Well, actually they changed YouTube, and I'm not able to find the history anymore. Your data, I will be able to find the history of what I looked. Found it. No, they didn't change it. I'm just blind. But okay, here it is. This doc here doesn't have enough views as Thibaut Francois deserves, because best practices to design Odoo crons. He explained things much better than I did, explained the differences in version 19, and it does some examples based on our real life examples, especially about sales subscription. So go and check that out, best practices to design Odoo crons, and have a look. You will find for sure a very interesting discussion, and you will have lots of points to address maybe your own crons, because I found things that I needed to improve in my own crons after this video. So go check it out and think about it properly. Well, I would call it a day. Thanks everyone for joining us. It was a short Odoo Insider session. Next week I think it will be Antoine's turn, maybe, I don't know. We're checking it out now.
Antoine is scheduled, but
it should be scheduled. Maybe yes. So that means that I did the technical insider session a couple of weeks ago, and this time, so this is the tech session for December. So see you in January. I wish you a happy new year. It's very early, but I will not see you. And yes, sorry. Happy Christmas for whoever celebrates Christmas. Otherwise, well, if you have any holidays, enjoy. Take time to relax during these vacations. If you take vacation, otherwise don't work too much. Work the right amount of hours. And have a great rest of the day, and see you soon.